For our next topic, let's talk about styling React components. Now, there are tons of CSS libraries out there: Tailwind, Style Components, Emotion, and many more. But since this is React Essentials, we're going to focus on the approaches that work right out of the box with our Vite setup. We will explore 3 different ways to style components, and we'll do it by building something practical, an alert component. You know, those little messages that appear saying success, your file was saved, or error, something went wrong. Let's build one of those from scratch. Back in VS Code, in the source folder, I'll create a new file called alert.jsx. Here, define and export a new component called alert. Export const alert is equal to an arrow function. The component takes a children prop, which we will destructure and render as part of the JSX. Return div tag within curly braces children. Now let's import this in the app component and render it with some content. In app.jsx, import alert from /alert and invoke it within the app component. As children prop, we will specify the message, your changes have been saved. If we save this and check the browser, we see the alert component rendered at the top. It's pretty boring right now, so let's add some styles to it. The first approach we will look at is inline styles. Now, if you're coming from regular HTML, you might think inline styles work the same way. But in React, they're actually quite different. We don't write inline styles as a string. Instead, we use a JavaScript object. Let me show you what I mean. In the alert component, on the div element, I'm going to add a style prop. Style is equal to curly braces. See how we are using curly braces? That is because we need to pass a JavaScript expression. Inside these curly braces, we need another set of curly braces for the object. Now this might look weird at first, double curly braces. But remember, the outer ones are for JSX to know we are writing JavaScript, and the inner ones are for our actual JavaScript object. Let's add some styles. We'll give it a background color. So background color, colon, a hex value, 10b981. Please notice something important here. It's not background color with a hyphen like regular CSS. In React inline styles, we use camel case. So background hyphen color becomes background color with an uppercase C. Let me add some more styles to make this look like a proper alert. We'll specify a color, black, padding, 16 pixels, border radius, 8 pixels, and finally, margin bottom, 16 pixels. Save the file and check the browser. We've got a nice green alert component at the top. Your changes have been saved. Now, what if we want different colors for different types of alerts, like green for success, but red for error? Back in alert.jsx, let's add a prop to handle that. Destructure the type prop and set the default value to success. Type is equal to the string success. And now we can use this prop to determine the background color. So if type is equal to success, then we have the current hex value. Else, we specify the hex value EF4444. Let's save the file. In app.jsx, duplicate the alert component, specify the type prop and set it to error, and update the text to something went wrong. Take a look at the browser. You can see we have a green alert for success and red alert for error. Perfect. As you can see, you can easily make inline styles dynamic based on props. But you know what? Having all these styles inline is getting a bit messy. Let me show you the next approach. The second approach is using external CSS files, the classic way we've been styling websites for years. Back in VS Code, let's create a new CSS file in the source folder. I'll call it alert.css. We'll define an alert class that will be used for all alerts. So .alert, padding, 16 pixels, border, hyphen radius, 8 pixels, Remember, this is CSS and not JavaScript. Margin-bottom, 16 pixels, and color, black. Now to use this CSS file in our component, we need to import it. At the top of alert.jsx, import /alert.css. And now, instead of the style prop, we use class name. Not class, but class name. Remember, in React, we can't use class because it's a reserved word in JavaScript. And we specify alert. Now we still need to handle the different colors for success and error types. So let's add those classes to our CSS file. So .success is the class name. We specify background color 10B981. Similarly, the error class background color EF4444. Now we need to apply both classes, the base alert class and the type specific class. For this, we will use JavaScript's template literals. So to class name, we're going to assign curly braces because we want to evaluate a JavaScript expression. We specify backticks for template literals. Alert is the base class. We follow that by binding the type prop. Type is either success or error, which corresponds to our CSS classes. So both alert and success or alert and error get applied. Refresh the browser and we see the same result, the success alert and the error alert. But here is something to watch out for with this approach. These CSS classes are global. What does that mean? Let me show you. I'll create another component real quick. Let's say a button component. So new file, new button.jsx, since we already have a button.jsx file. And here, let's define and export a new component called new button. So export const new button is equal to an arrow function that returns the HTML button element with the text new button and class name is equal to error. If we import this new button in the app component, so import new button from /new button and invoke it below the alert component, save the file, take a look at the browser, we see the new button is red. It's using the same error class from our alert.css file. Although we are importing alert.css in just the alert component, the CSS classes are global and this can lead to styling conflicts in larger applications. So how do we solve this? That brings us to our third approach, CSS modules. CSS modules give us the best of both worlds. Separate CSS files, but with locally scoped classes. To use CSS modules with Vite, we just need to rename our file. Instead of alert.css, I'll rename this to alert.module.css. Just adding .module before CSS. That's it. Now the import changes slightly in the alert component. Import styles from /alert.module.css. Styles is actually a JavaScript object now. And to use our classes, we need to use template literals to combine the base alert class and the type specific class. So class name within curly braces, backticks for template literals, $curly braces, styles.alert space $curly braces, styles, square brackets, type. We need to use bracket notation for the type because it is a dynamic value. Let's save the file and check if this works. We can see that the success alert is green, the error alert is red, but the styles are not applied to the new button component. And here's the magic. If we inspect the element in browser DevTools, you can look at the class names. They're not just alert and success anymore. There's something like alert underscore hash and success underscore hash. The same for error. CSS modules automatically generates unique class names, which means our styles are scoped to just this component. The new button component won't be affected by our error class anymore because it's no longer global. You get all the benefits of CSS, but without worrying about naming conflicts or styling leaks to other components. Scoping CSS to components is also the recommended approach when you're using a CSS library. And if you're curious about which library is trending right now, Tailwind CSS is by far the most popular styling framework in the React world. We will dive deep into Tailwind in a separate course because there is so much to explore there. But for now, you've got all the styling fundamentals you need to make your React components look great.